division since we've joined the league. And we okay? You guys good? In Virginia Tech, and obviously well-coached team, one of the best defenses, if not the best defense we'll see all year. I mean, just phenomenal. 28 sacks, 29% on third down, 16.9 points per game. A world of experience on defense. Excellent kicking game, and obviously an offense led by Logan Thomas, which we're 1-1 against him right now with the first year he just had a spectacular game. Last year we were fortunate to win, but he made some really big plays in the game. Obviously the quarterback draw was phenomenal plays, so we know what type of talent that he and the offense brings as well. So it's going to be a great challenge for us. I know our guys are excited, and obviously we went back to work here this week, and we got a chance to move forward and finish strong, and that's where our mindset is right now, moving on to Virginia Tech. So with that, any questions you have, I'd like to get this thing going.
Now, you talked about the trickle-down effect on special teams that Duke's absence might have. Can you elaborate on that more now, a couple days later?
Yeah, again, it's Dallas Crawford, we have to pull him back a little bit, so that means Jamal Carter, Jermaine Grace, guys like that need to step up and do a great job for us. So we'll do that. We've made some adjustments already. We've added those guys, Gus Edwards, those guys to some other units, but certainly Eduardo and Dallas are two of our better special teams players, and we've had to pull back on their reps because of how many reps they'll be getting on first, second, and third down.
Dallas told us yesterday that he really was hoping that he could still do all his special teams responsibilities, that he really loved doing that.
Well, then I'll put them all back. I'll put them back on it then.
How is it this type of the time of year where you start pulling certain guys back anyway, somewhat?
In terms of
reps?
Tim, our reps are really down right now. Our reps are good. I feel good about where our reps are as a team. We've done a good job managing that. We've played a lot of people. We've had sufficient amount of bye weeks, and we generated some other days off. So I mean, I feel like we should be healthy. I feel like we should be strong, and we got to be ready to go finish now. I think we have 26 days left in the regular season, if I'm not mistaken, 25 or 26. So I mean, we got to go dig in now. But to your point, nobody's really 100% this time of year.
How the third down defense has been pretty good up until the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We've been fortunate to see both. Any common thread of what you guys are doing to see we've had success?
Well, number one, we're not getting our hands on any balls. We haven't batted many balls at all in terms of deflection, so we have to do a better job with that. To be quite honest, we're drifting too much in our zone coverage, and we're allowing them to catch it underneath and not making the tackles that we need to have. We've been better in our man coverage, but sometimes when we've been in man coverage, we've let them out of the pocket and let them scramble or create. And so it's really a combination of all of those things. It's something that we're going to work on just as much as we have to work on the offense of side too. We weren't very good on either third down the other day, and that created a skew in the time of possession.
Coach, despite the tough loss, you guys still have a lot to look ahead.
Yep.
How important is to make sure the guys don't look too far ahead and focus on Tech?
Well, they know. I mean, you don't have to. Virginia Tech has won 7 of the last 10 against us. So I don't think they're 4-2 in the last 6 trips to Miami. So I don't think you have to. And they know what's coming into town, and this is a tough, rugged team, a team that's built, on playing hard-nosed defense and running to the ball and being. I think they have 28 sacks, so being disruptive. They've always been, great on special teams. So again, we know what we're in for. But I also think the guys know there's a lot to play for here in November, and as much as it was a painful loss for us the other night, we really have to move forward quickly.
What did it mean to you when Frank reached out a couple weeks ago?
Coach Beamer?
Yeah.
How did you know that?
He may have said something.
Well, I just thought it was your unbelievable journalism again, Tim, that you got that.
Take a poll. Yeah.
Yeah, I know how you feel. It means, it means a lot. I kind of cut my teeth at Virginia when Frank was growing that program and learned so much from him. And no matter how much, that rivalry was, Virginia and Virginia Tech at that time, Frank was always class. Bud Foster was always class, you know, Bustle, all those guys, they were always class guys, you know, they were blue collar guys. So it means a lot to me now because, you know, obviously we have a rivalry here between Virginia Tech and Miami. And, you know, he's always operated with class and you know, in our conference, he's kind of the patriarch, if you will. You know, when Frank talks, we all listen, and he's done it the right way. So I was very appreciative and very grateful that he did that.
Everybody's kind of fixated on their own team, especially in the middle of the season. I mean, people you don't have time to follow what's going on at Wake or BC. Obviously, this situation was more spectacular, of course, but just the fact that it takes 5 minutes.
Yeah.
One of your contemporaries to take 5 minutes out of their practice schedule when they don't have free time anyway. How much does that alone mean?
Yeah, I mean, it does. You can't say it enough. I just, it says something about the man and his family and what he represents. So, again, I was just, you know, in fact, he and Bud, and especially Bud last year before the game, we talked for a long time because they were talking how when they started Virginia Tech, they had a very similar circumstance that they inherited and, you know, had probation or whatever. So they were sharing that with me. So again, I know they knew what we were going through and how difficult it is. So again, I was very, very appreciative.
Coach, I was gonna say, we heard Oscar Duke had surgery yesterday.
Yeah.
You talked to him since?
I texted him last night. I didn't get out till late because I had the show. So I didn't get out till 8:45, 9 o'clock, but I think he was out by then. But texted him, left him a message last night, texted him this morning. But I think he'll be, you know, when we get out of here today, I think he'll be in a position where we can talk or go see him later on. But all indications are is everything went well. And again, he's got a great personality. He's resilient, and he'll be back better than ever.
Coach, with all the drama that's going on with the professional team up the road, hazing and bullying, is it something that you guys have talked about in the past with this team, making sure that doesn't happen here at the collegiate level?
Yeah.
Or for that with your program?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I can't speak to that because it wasn't until I got to the radio show last night that Joe said something to me, and I had no idea what was going on. So I really have no clue what's going on. But it is something that we address. It is something that in training camp that we talk about. In fact, this year I shared the article on what happened up at FAMU, you know, with their band, and there's really there's no place for it. There's no place for it in the workplace. There's no place for it in athletics. So it's obviously something that you know, it's got to be addressed on every level. We'll continue to support that, but we believe we're very proactive in our approach, and you know, you got to have you know, it's our job as leaders to protect the workforce. There's no question about it.
As a coach, how do you keep up with that if players aren't showing?
Well, you don't, you know, you got to make sure you have a good leadership council and that they communicate to you, that you address it. And it's not just that you address it one time, it's that every time an instance like this comes up, you provide the kids a lesson. You know, you send them the article or whatever the case may be. So, you know, and again, to me, what little I know is, you know, it's really about abusive behavior. You know, I think it's outside the realm of hazing, if you will. You know, neither has any place for sure.
You as the leaders of this team, making sure that these guys bounce back from adversity, whether it's injuries, the sanctions are gone.
Yep.
It just seems like adversity after adversity, you guys seem to keep bouncing back.
Well, I think we have a resilient group, and you know, as it pertains right now, you know, there's not a lot of one-loss teams in the country. You know, and we have a lot to play for, and we have a team coming in that, you know, it doesn't take long to turn on the tape and they catch your eye. So we know what's ahead of us, and you know, it's a shame, but injuries are a part of our game, and you have to, you know, as Clinton Portis told us a couple weeks ago, you have to, you know, there are no backups. You have to be ready for your opportunity when it comes, and the coaches have to trust you. And you know, we have a lot of kids buying into that notion right now, and I think all that we've endured the last couple of years certainly has served, you know, as I don't want to say a springboard, but certainly you know, has provided us, you know, lessons in you know, how to move forward and control the circumstances that you can control and let everything else go.
Virginia Tech has had so much success on special teams
Yeah.
in their history. Is there anything extra that goes into preparing for them or getting Pat and Matt ready for
Yeah, there's no question. So it's not just those guys, but it's, you know, protecting against punt blocks, which they've done so well. It's protecting against, you know, field goal blocks. It's the explosive returns that they've had and making sure everybody's in their coverage lanes. And again, I can go on, but they do a great job on special teams. And they're tough to prepare for. There's no question about it. And it's a great challenge. I think their punter is averaging 45 yards a punt now, so he's doing well. And then Cody Journal is probably, I think his first name is Cody. I want to be correct there. Yeah, Journal. Is kicking probably the best that he's kicked all year, and probably has a lot of confidence coming out of BC with the big one he's hit before the half.
Now, as far as Matt Gudis goes, how is he doing in practice? How is he bouncing back?
Well, he's been great in practice. We just got to get him to relax. You know, the other night I thought he jumped the gun a little bit. You know, and therefore over-rotated. So, you know, we just it's his first year. You know, kicking in that spotlight, if you will, and we just got to get him just pick a spot, focus, and stay with his swing. Don't overswing. He's got a great leg, and his numbers have been terrific. Not just his operation, but his numbers in practice. So there's no question that we have a lot of belief in him and a lot of faith in him. And now he's just got to trust his technique and let it go and just move on. We're going to keep challenging him though in practice.
You guys have faced quite a few great pass defenses already this season. Just your thoughts of how the receivers played against Florida State and coming into this week's challenge, you know, what Virginia Tech had back there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we dropped too many balls between tight ends and receivers in the game. We dropped 6 balls. You know, you can't beat a team. The margin for error is very, very little right now with Florida State, no matter who they play, because they're very talented and they're executing at a high level. We dropped too many balls there. We did some really good things too, though, Manny, and some other ones, you know, we left on the field. We didn't connect, whether it be because of a pressure, because of an overthrow, an underthrow, whatever the case may be. But we did some good things there, and we just got to keep moving forward. There was another part to your question?
I was going to say the challenge of Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know it's, you know, you're ruining my afternoon here talking about that, but it's, you know, it's just one of those deals, right? They're great at turnovers. They're getting interceptions. They're very disruptive. So they're hitting your quarterback. They're making your quarterback throw under duress. And, you know, their secondary, I don't know what they're saying down there, but that's as good a secondary as I may have ever seen from Virginia Tech. I mean, the secondary is excellent. Now Exum is back too. So I think the secondary is great. The number of sheer starts on the defense is unbelievable. What a veteran group they are. They're big and strong up front. They play a lot of guys, and on the back end, they're really talented.
I can't imagine you spent a lot of time thinking about this, but I don't think you have Bud Foster for 23 years.
Yeah, Bud, you know, I've talked to him about that in the past, but at the end of the day, he loves it there. His family loves it there, and I mean, think about all of us in the room today. I mean, if you could just be happy with your job and have the self-assuredness to trust that, and maybe just, you know, he's not really a guy that's the grass is greener. He never has been, even when it's gotten tough there, because they had some tough times too. They had, you know, people forget, but they had some tough times. And but Bud, again, just in my exchanges with him, he loves it there, and I know his family loves it there, and he's done a great job. And this is a Bud Foster defense. This has his fingerprints all over it. There's no question about it, and I know he's happy about that.